Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to all lecturer and fellow friends. Today, I would like to present to you my analysis of block. And we have chosen Siegel's block, which is energy smart, building for a prosperous and stable future. Okay, first of all, I would like to introduce to you who is Siegel. Siegel block domains in energy and environmental issues or implications, and he is a founding member of the Energy Consensus, a non-profit focusing in enhancing the policy dialogue related to energy issues and environmental services, which is a company related in Atlanta, Georgia, that designs, installs, maintains, and finances retrofit and upgrade to improve the energy efficiency of buildings and facilities. Siegel is also a board member of Energize America, which focuses on developing energy concepts for potential legislative action, using the blogosphere, which is his blog, as a developmental platform. And he is working from the home to the globe in an effort to find paths that will make energy sense to improve his communities, his countries, and the globe's energy situation nowadays. Okay, we chose his blog because the blogging journey, as we know, of a blogger begins with topic selection, which happens to be one of the hardest parts of building and writing a successful blog. And this is the big deal and decision. Making mistake by choosing the wrong topic is the first point where everything can go wrong. You begin walking down the wrong path if you choose the wrong topic of interest. I chose Siegel's blog because the entries written by him covered his specialty, which domains in energy and environmental implications. The entry was written from the point of view as environmentalist to draw some picture to the community out there in depictions of the current situations happening around the globe. Next, we chose his blog because he knows how to motivate his reader to do or perform greening the earth habitually or customarily. This is one of the reasons why we chose his blog. The blog is motivated in the sense that the writer encourages the readers to do or perform greening the earth smartly. First, in this analysis, we use two tools. Okay, but today I would like to talk about conversation. This is the first tool, and there are 5 building tasks under the conversations, which is science system and knowledge, connections, politics, identities, and lastly practices. Building tasks of language that we have is to use is first of all science system and knowledge. But first of all, we would like to define what is meant by conversations. Our words don't just allude or relate to someone else's words, as in the case of intertextuality when spoken or written, but they allude or relate to others in the sense that, for instance, the themes, the debates, or the motif that has been the focus of much talk and writing in some social group with which we are familiar or in our society as a whole. And these themes, these debates or motifs play a role in how language is interpreted. Only then we proceed to the science systems and the other building tasks. According to G, different languages, different varieties of any language and communicative systems that are not language, as well, for instance, non-verbal communication system that are not language, as well, for instance, we use this science system in our daily life to display different kinds of social identities and to show that we are belong to different groups or certain groups, and the communication involves interpreting what other people mean and what they are trying to do. From the blog, we can find words and phrases which portray some system and knowledge, such as delusion, energy smart, winning, and others. Okay, next, connections. According to G in 2001, to build connections or relevance, we can use language to order certain things connected or relevant to or not to other things. Things are not always inherently connected or relevant to each other. Often, we have to make such connections with each other. We can use language to break or mitigate such connections, but when things seem inherently connected are relevant to each other. Things are not always inherently connected or relevant. Often, we have to make such connections. We can use languages to break or mitigate. In these findings, from the blog, as I repeat just now, things are not connect with each other. And from this blog, Siegel used words and phrases to portray connections. For example, in the blog, there is a campaign, Return to Free Our Earth, launched by American United for Change within the Republican. Of course, using the term earth in the campaign between Americans United and the Republicans already is a way of connecting them. Third, politics. What is defined by politics? We use language in the effort to build and convey a perspective on the nature of distribution of social goods. According to G, social goods potentially at stake anytime, a time we speak, alright, so as to state or to imply that something or someone is adequate, normal, good, or acceptable, or the opposite innovation important to some group in society or society as a whole. And the fourth is identities. Maybe we use language to get recognized as taking on a certain identity or role that is to build an identity here and now. From the blog, Siegel has innate environmental identity for oneself in the blog by building a speech or writing some sort of inferior identity of people of another background or target community that he wants to highlight his point, which domains energy and environmental implications. And last but not least, practices. Practices. According to Jim, practices mean a socially recognized and institutionally or culturally supported dialogue that usually involves sequencing or combining actions in certain specified ways. We use language, for instance, to get recognized in a certain sort of practice and activity. Language and practices bootstrap each other parts into existence into a reciprocal process through time. We don't have one without another. For example, from the blog, Siegel writes and acts in one way and he is engaged of formally writing the energy and environmental implication articles. He writes and acts in another way and he is engaged in a chit-chat, in a discussion with his followers when reply to the comments of the articles in the blog. And that's simplifies all the first part, which is the conversations of my blog analysis. And that's end my presentation today. Thank you. Have a good day. Assalamualaikum.